Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to A Clash of Kings. Now, when we left off, we had just taken Ironholt, and we were the same color as the Westerlands. And now I have changed us to a rather joyous color, even though the Bear Islands probably would have been better to be dark green. I decided, considering it was very difficult to see the amount of units and also the name of the fief itself under our control with a dark green, because basically it's black. So yes, not entirely sure whether we'll change that in the future, but as for now, as you can see, it does stand out rather nicely, and I think it would probably be rather suitable. However, of course, it does not suit the Bear Islands, so maybe once we have eliminated the Iron Islands, we will be changing our color and we'll know where we are in that regard. So, now, as I said last time around, I went to go to recruit a couple of units, and I have done just that. As you can see, we have 291 now in the garrison, and I must just mention that I had a rather similar experience to what I had a rather long time ago when I lost a lot of our save data. Now, I had a similar experience yesterday, I believe it was, and I spent all of yesterday and today trying to catch up, and of course I do have backup files and they are perfectly fine. However, some of the backup files are a little bit, let's just say, in the past, as usually sometimes I may neglect to copy those. So one of those just happened to be Clash of Kings, and so some things might be a little bit different. Now, as you can see here, I do have a different armor set on, as you can see, because I could not, for the life of me, find a thick chainmail hauberk in any of the towns I checked. So unfortunately, we'll just have to roll with the rusty heavy plate armor, and also I think this is the same. I'm not entirely sure on the shield or anything. But yeah, we have this balanced greatsword as well for sieges. I thought that might be quite nice. And we have a lance when we are on horseback. So yes, that's rather nice. And we are still the same level, of course. But yeah, I managed to find a couple more companions this time around, which is rather nice because, believe it or not, this fellow here, Brynden Storm, has 4 in surgery. So thankfully I didn't have to spec into surgery this time around, and we were able to take Ironholt without too many losses thanks to him. And also, of course, we found Balakwo, which I believe we found in A Clash of Kings 1.1 just before we updated, or was it 1.0? Maybe it's 1.0, I cannot remember. Too many versions. But yes, I have also found one other companion who I have made our minister, and he has been very nice indeed. He's doing a good job. And we have a constable, or technically it is a... Let's see if I can remember the name of this fellow. I know we have a seneschal and we have a castellan. Yes, that's it. Aha, yes, and he is technically our constable, and he is currently training units in Ironholt to be the next generation of infantry for us. So hopefully that will be nice, and ooh, it would be a rather nice idea to get a patrol, so why don't we do this? Oh, we have to wait 2 days. Oh, unfortunate. Okay, I haven't actually done that before, so I suppose that was inherited from the previous owners. And I'm not entirely sure whether I want to... No. I do not want to take these. 6,300, I think that's a little bit too much for my current budget. As you can see, I only have 6,900. And so, seeing as I have caught you all up on what I have been doing, we will now cut away and I will attempt to sort out what kind of army we want to take to Lordsport or Pike. So, I will see you soon. Okay, so before we head on to our next fief that we will potentially conquer, I must just mention, do not worry about the other series. I do have backups for all of them. I may just need to do a little bit of off-screen work to catch up on some of them. Maybe just a little bit of training for some of our units and so forth, and then we will be back up to speed. So, let us now head on to Lordsport and scout it out. We have 169 units, and 125 we are leaving in the garrison at Ironholt. So I can only hope that... Oh, there are no vassals here. This might make it rather easy. However, oh no. It appears that King Balon Greyjoy himself is stationed at Pike. So Lordsport is definitely going to be our choice for this particular conquering. And unfortunately it will take 9 hours, and I just hope that the king will not see fit to interrupt us here. However, it appears that we are lucky enough to have completed our ladders. So, let us lead our soldiers in an assault and see what kind of... Whoa. Okay. I was going to say what kind of composition this particular fief has, and it appears rather unique. I like this a lot. Okay, well, as you can see, we do have some veteran reach crossbowmen, and I will hopefully be using them to the greatest effect. And of course, the rest of our soldiers are basically just charging in. That's probably not a good idea, as I access our notes for whatever reason. Not too sure why that happened. Okay. Well, let's head up, and I can only imagine that we may be suffering quite a few casualties thanks to me having a lot of levies, and I suppose, well, they have to level up sometime, and we may as well get them leveling up as soon as possible. Oh my. Okay, so how does this work? Oh, we go round. Alright, okay, this seems very precarious on our side. Oh no. Okay, well, actually, I'm going to let all of our fellows go first, and I really need to get back up here for a very important reason, and you will see in just a moment why that is. I really should have remembered to do it. And that is, of course, to move our archers in here so that they can attack all those fellows when their shields are turned towards our infantry. So hopefully we will be quick enough, and they will be quick enough to get in here. Now, how many units do we have on the battlefield? 136 as I get shot, thank you very much. Yes, I must just mention that my difficulty and damage modifiers are all on the maximum, apart from, of course, campaign AI. I'm not a big fan of campaign AI, because that, of course, increases the amount of grinding that you have to do to be able to take out a particular fief, and yes, who likes grinding? I don't know. But, oh, there appears to be some fellow over there. Hopefully one of our crossbowmen will take him out, but it does not appear that that will be the case. Maybe I can do some damage, however, I don't really want to fall in the water here. Oh, I cannot. Okay, good. So, it may be that that fellow is going to stay there for the rest of the fight, and we'll just have to leave that handful of units pinning him down there. He seems not to be able to do any damage to our fellows there, so I don't think we really need to worry too much. And now we will get in the fray and hopefully help our fellows out here and deal some serious damage in the process. Let's do it. Oh yes, oh my. Okay, there appears to be a lot of units here, which to me is not very nice, but I am taking them all out, which is rather considerable. Not entirely sure why that is. I think it's because they're using spears. That is definitely the reason. Because spears, as you know, when I have used them in the past, are absolutely useless if you have no range with them. So that was very good for us indeed. And I had no idea that the Ironborn units leveled up into spearmen, so I suppose maybe if we are unlucky we'll have to use quite a few of those in the future, because even though they are incredible... Oh, they do have axes. I was about to say, even though they are incredible in field battles versus mounted units with their spears, I wouldn't really rely on them in a siege. As you can see, we took them out rather easily, and I think if we were fighting regular units with axes and so forth, which they do have, but not a majority of them, then I think we probably would have had a lot more issues. And let's just hope that our crossbowmen are able to take this fellow out. This is rather an amusing sight, I must admit. Every one of my units wants to kill this fellow, and he is doing an excellent job at staying alive. Hopefully one of our crossbowmen will be accurate enough to take him out at one point or another, but unfortunately it appears all of the bolts are streaming above his head for whatever reason, and there we are. Finally taken down, there we are. Good. Elite Ironborn Spearman. He is a hero among his people now. Oh yes. Okay, so there is 5 morale, 9 deaths on our side, which is not too bad. We lost only levies, so I don't think that's too much. And we'll take some looters, why not? And of course we'll take some of these fellows as prisoners. There we are. Okay, so I am really looking forward to... Ah, this is a nice shield. Okay, I will be using that. Even though this shield does have our banner on it, which is actually very cool, I must admit. But look at it. The size is huge. 120, well, 119 basically. And it has more resistance as well, and a little bit less HP, but yeah, I think that should be fine. And we'll leave the rest. No, we will not leave the rest. We'll take these for our companions, just in case they need some, and we'll let our companions take the rest of the items to sell. Okay, so we are going to take Lordsport for ourselves, of course. And once we have sufficiently leveled up our companions, or maybe if we get a defector, which is of course highly unlikely at this time, we will be awarding some of the villages to them. So let's level up most of our levies, and whoa, we're getting quite a few lovely level ups right here. And there we go. Okay, so Elias actually leveled up too, so we're going to get one more point, I believe, in strength, as we are hopefully going to be getting 6/6 in Power Strike and Iron Flesh. And I think we'll probably be going, even though Persuasion would be rather nice, I think Inventory Management might be better. I know how strange that sounds, or maybe Engineering, to be honest, because we don't have an Engineer, and we're going to be doing quite a bit of sieging, so I think we'll go for an Engineer there. And I think considering that we are going to be using a two-handed a little bit more in these sieges, it would be rather nice to get a little bit more two-handed proficiency, because of course we are going to be using a one-handed in the majority of our time here. So that will be it, and now it needs a garrison, which is rather unfortunate. I was hoping maybe that it wouldn't really need one just yet, but I think what we might want to do, in actual fact, is head away from there and see what we can do with these prisoners. Place them back in here, I think. There we are, and now I think we are probably going to be, well, I'm going to be cutting away, and I will see what I can do about the garrison here. I'll probably place maybe 80 in there, and then I will take the rest on to, oh, yeah, Pike seems to be a little bit out of our range at the moment, because as you can see, it does have the king himself stationed there, and I think it might be a little too difficult for us. So we may indeed want to head off to somewhere else, but saying that, if we do, then Pike itself and King Ballon as well will head out and maybe siege one of these, because with 266 units under his belt, I'm pretty sure he would be able to take any one of our fiefs. So I'm thinking, instead of playing the defensive game, we may go on the offensive. So what I will be doing instead is heading back to Ironholt and taking out all of the units from the garrison there and leaving it completely defenseless, which might be a terrible idea, but we need the numbers to be able to take these guys on. So I will be cutting away while I do this, and here is one religious fanatic we found in our travels, and I will see you soon. Okay, so as you can see, Ironholt has only 9 units in their garrison, and I can only hope that... that is not too good. Oh, he's running. That's a good sign. And there are the huge amounts of vassals from the Iron Islands right there. Okay, well, we are going to be heading into Lordsport then, it appears, and taking their siege full on, as well as... oh no. Oh my goodness. Okay. Who's going to be first? These fellows started first, and these guys have some defenses. Okay, well, I will be cutting away, and we will see what happens. Okay, so, as you can see, we are, let's just say, rather outnumbered, yes. We have 279, which is my max army capacity, against 836, because apparently the king thought that piling on here would not make too much difference. And yes, he was a little bit incorrect about that, because of course I would have preferred that he would stay out of this. But nevertheless, we will attempt to do our best and defend as best we can. So we have a -4 battle advantage, which is obviously not something I am very looking forward to seeing right here. And I really don't even know what to do. I don't know who to command where, and we will just hope and do our best, I suppose. And ooh, yes, this is going to be rather difficult, I have a feeling. Okay, so let's take a look here. We have currently not taken out any of the enemy units. They have only entered the battlefield with 148, which is rather nice, I must admit. However, as you can see there, we are losing a couple of our elite reach crossbowmen already, and they are dying to lords of the Iron Islands already. Oh my, we've already lost 5. That is not too good. However, I will be charging down here and taking out this fellow, if I can. Yes, there we are. Take that, veteran Ironborn. That's what you get. Oh no, this may have been a bad idea. Okay, I'm going to run in the opposite direction and hopefully get our crossbowmen a little bit more time to shoot these fellows in the back, if possible. And something tells me that this is probably not going to be a very successful defense. Oh no. Okay, come on. I'm going to get out my two-handed and we're going to do the work right here. Let's do it. Take them down as best we can. Yes, there we are. Okay, we took very little damage from their initial units here, which is always good. But, as you can see, our levies and everything else that is within range of their ranged weapons is currently having a terrible time of it. Okay, stab him! There we are. Did some stabbing damage right there. Usually I'm not a big fan of stabbing, but it actually does a lot of damage. So I'm pleased to do it here. And oh, yes, this is one of the lords. Okay, come on. Yes. I'm actually half tempted to... Ooh, look at that. We actually took out Lord Captain Victorian. Oh my goodness. He's not going to be very pleased, does he? No. Yes, okay. Deal the damage there. And, ooh, we seem to be doing rather well. However, we've only taken out 13, well, 17 of theirs. And they've taken out roughly the same of ours. So I can only hope that... Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, no. I may have escaped. Yes. Okay, I escaped their trap, but I am taking severe damage in the process. Oh, no. Yes, there we are. Take out one of those guys, and maybe if I can move backwards, then I might get some range on these guys and be able to deal damage again. Oh, no. Come on. If we can survive the first wave, then I think we might win this, because, of course, as you know, the first wave of every siege has the best units possible, and maybe that will be the first and second waves, but yes, I can only hope that we will survive both of those. Oh, I really wish I could swing here. Maybe I will switch to my shorter sword. Yes, there we are. That's much better. A little bit, at least. Oh, yes, we actually took out Asher Greyjoy. Oh, no. Well, there we are. We took her out by the looks of things. And we advanced to level 11, thanks to her experience right there. Okay, so it appears we took out all of those fellows. 43 we have killed so far. And many more to come, no doubt. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, it appears all of them down here. Just chilling out. Okay. Well, that fellow is crowd surfing, that is for sure. Okay, well, I'm not entirely sure what is going to happen. Maybe they will start trickling up here in a very slow manner, but it would be rather nice if they could all just pile in here. I would like to lose fast or win fast. That seems to be a good idea, and I appear to be losing quite a bit of relation with all of these lords, which is not necessarily a good thing, that is for sure. Getting a lot of killing blows on them at the moment. And what units are currently down here? Ooh, we have quite a lot of axemen. That is something I'm not looking forward to. However, should we tell our units to charge in? I do not see any other units coming in here, so I think we will be charging in. They do have 84, so I think what we'll do is when we have cleared out this particular area, we will be moving our fellows back into this bottleneck type place and hopefully making our stand there once again. So, I will be jumping off here. If I die, then do not blame me, because of course I am doing a rather stupid thing. But yes, it sometimes happens. And oh, very nice attack right there from me, even though I'm not one to toot my own horn usually. Come on. Yes. Take him down. Oh my. Okay. This thrusting attack is incredibly well damaged. Come on. Yes. Yes, look at that. Okay, we're actually doing a pretty reasonable job here. I thought they would swarm me immediately as soon as I jumped down here, but thankfully that was not the case. I am, however, losing quite a bit of HP, so in the next fight I may start with a less than desirable amount. Okay, I've got to block him. There we are. And oh my. Hello. How dare you? Go in the water. Yes! He actually obeyed my order right there. Okay, well, there we are. That was not too bad. And now we're going in for another stabbing motion. Oh, yes. There we are. Take that guy down. We are now level 12, which is rather impressive, considering I'm not one to usually get a lot of kills, unless I have, well, rather weak enemies, even though these are not weak enemies. I am just rather lucky in terms of them not swarming me, I suppose. Come on, let's do it. Yes. Oh, new enemies have arrived. This is where we might have to be a little cautious and possibly retreat. And I just took 10 damage there, and I am cringing from my action from that. I was hoping that we wouldn't take too much damage in regards to two-handed axes to the face. No, how dare you. Come on. There we are. Took him down and stab him. Stab that pirate. Or some sort of fellow. Yes. There we are. Take him down too. And now we can move forward and get out of the line of fire, I suppose, because of course we do have reinforcements for the enemy and for ourselves coming through now. So we do have those to look forward to, that is for sure. Come on, stab him. Yeah. Wow, the stabbing motion in this mod is incredible. Usually when I try to stab in mods, and generally any game with this sort of combat system, I am absolutely terrible, but for some reason this sword seems to be one of the better piercing weapons, I suppose, because it does have a larger piercing stat than the others that I have used in the past. So yeah, it's always nice to try them out, I suppose. And come on, let's take this guy out. Yes, there we are. Okay, let's move ahead, fellows. How many are coming? We only have 61 enemies incoming? Okay, we might be okay then to defend against these guys, at least in this wave.